Hey everyone, welcome to this week's long form content. My name is Kirsten Vanderjack with Moving Forward Properties and Katie's House Foundation 501c3. Of course, we have on Julie Ferraro, who's the president, and also she's been in law enforcement. So, hello and welcome. We are going to talk about all things how to make you money today. So, Julie, what do you want to talk about today, and how can we make people money?
Yeah, really, we want to talk about how it's possible that using our loan programs to better, even if you're a builder and a ground up construction person and your biggest issue is capital, that's what we want to help you with. If you're doing fix and flips or you're doing rentals, your biggest pain point is being able to have cash flow. We want to help you with that. So that's kind of what I want to talk about is what loan programs can help each of our investors that are listening today.
Yeah, I love that. We have the builders, and yesterday a builder reached out to me. He does about 20 builds a year, and then also he does flips. And they might be heavy flips with tear down and build back up. But the point is that he needs a new lender who makes it easier for him. And so when I explain that on the flip stuff, it's only 10% down on the purchase price, and then no income verification, no employment, no tax returns. We order the appraisal first to see what that diamond is worth or that house is worth. And then, of course, he has his scope of work. So that way we can see if it's luxury grade or what he's doing. And then the as repaired value, if you go on Zillow and you look at those comps, he's probably making $100,000 with our loan programs or will with our loan programs. He doesn't have to make loan payments and he gets advanced construction draws. So all he has to do is get the project done in less than 12 months. And then he will refinance it with us on a bridge loan. So that way he gets back all of the money that he put in plus some of his profit. And then when he goes to hire a real estate agent, he'll already have an appraisal. So he knows how much it's worth on the flip loan. And then in 9 or 12 months, when he's completed, he'll have another appraisal done by us and get cash in his hand and have another 6 or 12 months with no loan payments. And his real estate agent can go and sell that property. I think he likes to pay his realtors 2 or 3% to list, and they are getting an appraisal. So they know what the property's worth and they don't have to guess what a buyer is going to pay for that property before they put it on market. Because when you're talking about making money, that's one of the ways that we can help people make money too. Because I find people will list either too low or too high. And neither one of those makes them money because if you list too low, you just took a haircut when you didn't need to on your asking price or your monthly rents. If you list too high, you're going to lose cash flow because you're having to carry a property longer than if you would have come to us and asked us to order an appraisal and give you cash on a purchase or a refinance. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm going to wrap into something else too, just in case this flipper wants to turn into a landlord, how we can make them money and not have that big hassle. But when it comes to having that appraisal, I think in my experience, some of the better things is that when that realtor has that appraisal in hand and they've got that end buyer that's a first time home buyer and they know that they're going to go get a conventional loan, they know that property is going to come in at the correct amount for that lender to give that loan to them. And they just feel more solid about their deal and they don't have to worry about, is this going to come in? Are they going to be able to qualify? Are they going to need more money? They don't have any more money. So I really think that in that way, that flipper is moving that property faster and he's making that turnaround and that money faster. If he wanted to keep that property as a rental, though, he wouldn't have to find a different lender to do the DSCR loan to get that loan to a payment where his cash flow is much better. So I think coming to us, we can help people make money and not have all those other stresses. As an investor knows what we call loan hassle.
Yeah,
So
definitely when you stick with us, a lot of lenders do only short term capital or long term capital, and they don't do both. What's unique about Moving Forward Properties LLC, and if you go to myportfolioloan.com, is that we want to make it easy. Once you give us your entity documents, even though you might have multiple entities, the point is that you're just changing the property address, and that's it. From a paperwork perspective, things just fly through on your short-term capital or your long-term capital because we have the 5-step fast forward system, and that is where you call for a quote the first day, then you get an appraisal, we order that for you the next day, and you pay with your credit card, and we underwrite the deal starting on day 3, get your loan docs drawn, and fund you the money. So that's the 5 steps. Super easy for us since we've been doing it. Is
yes,
the certainty and the control. I like to be in control of my money. And even if there's ebbs and flows, that's okay because I understand what's happening and I work with people who I trust and they can help me work through things because I trust them. That loan hassle, right? If we're only dealing with a few different people who we trust and they always wire the money, it makes your operation very controllable. And that's what
yeah.
we want to
One
do.
less thing to worry about on a daily basis. And I think too, as an investor coming in, trying to get all your deal ready, trying to get all that in line, it's much better too with this system, seeing that you don't have to wait for that proverbial, what do I have to find next? Or what do I have to get next? We pretty much provide people upfront the information that they need to get that loan fast and easy.
It's so simple too, because we can help them make the $50,000 that they wouldn't have otherwise made on that real estate transaction each quarter or even each month, depending on how many deals they want to do. And you guys, we can give you a letter that shows that you are pre approved for private money with us and it's good for 120 days. That's valuable and makes you money because you can write more offers. We stand behind that letter. That's not something that you print online that you paid $100 for. We consult with you. And then in the private money and DSCR space, you write 5 contracts a day, 5 offers. That's 70% of fair market value because the seller oftentimes doesn't know the real fair market value, which is what we sell for when you come to us if you're a seller and you want to get a bridge cash out loan. I think that having the tools to make the money lined up makes it faster and easier. Demystifying this for the realtors, the flippers, the handymen, handy women, let us make it clear. If you have 10% down on a purchase price and you want to buy a fixer, you can do that with no experience. And we can, with no income documents, no tax returns, no employment verification, no personal debt ratio concerns, no asset statements, no reserves, roll in the construction and roll in the payments for 12, 18, 24 months. You can force equity into that property and then come to us and refinance it when it's vacant before you even put it on the market or before you even lease it to get your money. Really amazing. And most people don't know that it exists or they think that it's too good to be true. And it's not.
If
The
you
company,
remember, you used to go to all those RIA meetings and you used to hear people talking about this, but the proof of concept and the ability to do it is like you go to those meetings and you hear about these things, but you can never actually get past the finish line because that lender wanted this and you couldn't do it. Use like a credit score. You're looking at a lower credit score. In our case, we can work with them to add on another partner that could maybe just be for that small deal and get that hump gone so that you could actually do some of these things. For those people out there that are really feeling like, I've heard about all these things, but I don't believe it, start looking at the 30 questions that we have on myportfolioloan.com and start filling those out so that you can go to that website, put in that offer that you're putting in and get that to us so we can get you a term sheet to see that you can actually do that. And then we can work with you based on whatever roadblock that you have been running into. We can get past that.
Yeah, and also formulating a plan to help you make money. So that's the consultative approach is if you and a friend or a family or a couple of them, you guys want to throw money together, or if you have money aside and you want to invest it and make 10% back or 20% back or $50,000 a quarter on it, looking at certain areas of the country and having reliable people. For example, I'm in Lake Havasu City, Arizona right now. The average house, I haven't pulled it today, but once in a while, a fixer will come on market around 300,000. But I know that if that old property just had lipstick on a pig and new finishes, that it would probably resale for 550,000. It is easier to do than people really understand. But the thing that you do need to have is that money down first to get one going. And then you have to be able to tell people what to do, even if it's the people at Lowe's and you hire contractors who are fully vetted by Lowe's or Home Depot in that city, you can still make a profit. You need a line item budget, which we can give to you. But we vet all of this for you because we're investing 60, 70, 80, 90% into your transaction by giving you that money, plus the construction, plus financing your payments. Imagine that you're looking for capital to make an extra 50 grand a quarter. And if you would team up with us, we will help you with between 50 and 90 or even 115% once you add in all that other stuff. We will help you be successful just by going through the process with us one time to make sure this all gets dialed in for you. And then you have a model, and then you do it a second time and a third time and a fourth time. And I just think that being able to do that, if you're a handyman and you know how to hang doors and you have a bunch of friends, now would be a really great time to get into the game on the flips because there's more inventory that's going to come. There still is not, I think in some pockets, we don't see a ton of it, but if you watch Zillow, you can map out the cheapest house and how long it's been sitting on the market. You can write 3 and 4 and 5 offers on paper at 50 or 70%. And one of those sellers will probably take it because they're ready to get out from underneath that property. You need us to tell you that you are pretty well approved so we can give you that 50 to 90% or more. Julie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was looking at our numbers on our channel. So if you are watching us now, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and hit that button so that we can give you more information too, because some of our other we're going to have other information and other people on to help with all these other nuances. But in the grand scheme of things, yeah, let's make that money. Let's be that successful person that can rinse and repeat. And same kind of thing, rinse and repeat for us would be subscribe so we can make more of these and give you more educational information on where do you got to go on this deal. And instead of sitting in all these real estate meetings and doing things where you're listening to other people and what they did, actually go out and get these things done so that you can make that money instead of somebody else.
Yeah, from the comfort of your home and from your town. That's what we're doing here on this long form, helping you build a team that's reliable and consistent. If they subscribe, we can see like 150,000 people have been watching in the last couple weeks. And it really helps if you hit that subscribe button so that way you can get our 1 minute clips, but also this long form because you do need another surveyor sometimes. You do need another person to fix a crack slab. You do need another person to show up and do something in some type of a trade or even like a general contractor. Somebody called us who wants to build houses from the ground up, which you have to go through a heavy permit process and you have to be apprenticed into that so you don't lose your tail end on a deal and end up getting sued or something like a second story coming down on a person because it wasn't put together properly. So this is why it does take time. And if you're in an educational stage, that's perfectly fine. Or even if you are doing two of these a month, we have unlimited money so you can make money. That's the whole game. Just come to us, pick a property, pick an area, and let's get to work. So that's where I'm at. I'm always excited about it.
And so, yeah, I think we probably will wrap up here today with that in our heads. Let's get started here. We can't make money without getting that information and that first deal going.
All right. Well, sounds good. Talk to you soon, Julie. Have a great week.
All right, you too.